Good morning, world. This is Dr. Rico Short, the root canal specialist to the stars, the grace life teacher, the inspirational motivator for you on this thankful Thursday. Today, I want to talk to you guys about being in a different place. Being in a different place. See, God called us to stretch, learn, and grow. And we can't stretch and learn and grow if we continue to do the same thing over and over again. That's the definition of insanity. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting for a change. And so God has put us in positions to stretch our faith, learn about others, and grow internally and grow spiritually. Will that be easy? No. And you have to be intentional on this. You have to make sure that you put yourself in uncomfortable situations around different people so that you can stretch, learn, and grow. Because there's no way you can reach your divine destination on earth being the same, thinking the same, looking at the same thing on TV, listening to the same thing on the radio. It reminds me of with all the election stuff going on. I know some people that are just glued to CNN. There's some people that are just glued to Fox. You know what I decided to do? I decided to watch a little bit of CNN. I decided to watch a little bit of Fox News. I decided to watch a little bit of MSNBC. And I even watched a little bit of the BBC, the public broadcast about the news. And everybody had a different opinion on the same thing. And it all depended on where your mind was. And that's the same thing with life. See, everybody have a different opinion based on their previous experience about life. You know, if you had someone that owned a business and the business was transferred to them throughout the years and they got that business by hook or crook, guess what that person is going to do that own that business? They're going to continue to keep it by hook or crook because that's all they know. And likewise, if you have family members that are, alcoholics, and that's all you've been around, and it looks like it was fun, and all of a sudden that you look up and you're like, man, why do I like drinking so much? Well, that's because that's what you've been around. That's what you've been exposed to. So today I want to challenge you. Expose yourself around other people that don't think like you or don't look like you, so that you can stretch, learn, and grow, because we all have blind spots. I talk about this all the time. We all have blind spots and we can't see them. You may say, well, Dr. Troy, I can see my blind spots. No, you can't, because if you can see your blind spots, it wouldn't be called a blind spot. And we all have them. And most of the time, we can't get exposed to our blind spots unless we get exposed to a different environment. It reminds me of the Bible that you have Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. They all wrote about Jesus, their experience with Jesus and what they saw. And if you look at it, everybody didn't write exactly the same thing. In fact, John always wrote from a perspective of him being the closest to Jesus. And you look at other people and what they wrote was, it's about the same thing, but it was a different personal account. And that's the same thing with life, man. We all have different hills and different valleys and different challenges. But guess what? It's all about the same thing, because we all will experience challenges in life. And what if I told you, if you got around somebody else that don't think like you and don't look like you, that they could be a solution to your problem? What if they can help you get rid of your stinking thinking? What if they can take you out of your tradition and put you into a better situation or a kingdom type of culture? What if they have an opportunity and you're trying to figure out, how can I start that business? Because oftentimes God will put you in unusual places to get blessed, and you wouldn't even know it. It's all throughout the Bible. It reminds me of Joseph. When Joseph got sold into slavery, well, he got sold by the Ishmaelites. They came and got him out of that well. Well, the Ishmaelites were the same people that Abraham, who wasn't supposed to have, kids, and he had a baby, but with Hagar, who wasn't the promised child, and that's where the Ishmaelites came from. Well, lo and behold, the Ishmaelites came back into the story with the children of Israel because they actually helped Joseph get to that next place. And that's interesting because, you know, people don't really think about Ishmael as being a part of the gospel story, but guess what? He was. So what if I told you that God can use unusual people to help hold your ladder to get you to your divine destination? But if you're around the same people, thinking the same thing, talking the same way, you won't get there. Yeah, you might be good, but you won't be great. And God has called all of us to be great. He's put greatness inside of us. Why? Because he made us in his likeness and his image. It also reminds me of oftentimes, you know, God will remove stones away. And in the Bible, when Jesus was laid into the tomb, there was a stone that was rolled over the tomb. And that stone can represent anything in life. It can represent barriers that we can't break. The stone can represent addictions that we have. The stone can represent prejudices that we have, whether it's in our race or outside of our race, because we do still have prejudice even within our race, whether somebody's light skinned. I'm talking about black folks, whether somebody's dark skinned, whether they have good hair, whether they have bad hair, no matter if they're tall, no matter if they're short, no matter if they're skinny, no matter if they're fat, no matter if they're thick, no matter if they're thin. You know, we all have these internal prejudices inside of us, and they can be barriers. But guess what God does? Just like he did Jesus, he sent an angel to remove the barrier. That's right. He will send an angel, maybe in the form of somebody that, like I said before, that you don't even think. Maybe a stranger, maybe somebody that doesn't look like you, don't think like you, that can help move that barrier, move that stone. But once that stone is removed, guess what you got to do? You got to walk out. See, Jesus could have laid in that tomb for not only 3 more days, he could have stayed in there 30 more days, he could have stayed in there 60 more days, or even a whole year. But Jesus walked out. Once God removed that stone, when the angel removed that stone, Jesus had an opportunity and he took advantage of it and he walked out. Which leads me to the essence of what I'm trying to tell you. When God removes that stone, when God removes that addiction, when God removes that toxic person, when God opens the door for you to get out of that toxic relationship, you got to walk out. He's not going to pick you up and carry you out unless you don't have no feet, unless you stuck and you can't help yourself. But once that stone is removed, whether that stone is a physical stone, whether it's an addiction stone, whether it's a stone of, you know, stinking thinking, or a just a terrible mentality, we have to walk out. We have to put our big girl and big boy britches on, like they say, and we have to walk out and leave it, and leave it, and leave it, because we all have a past. I'm in somebody's closet right now. We all have a past. Like they say, man, we all have skeletons in our closet. So there's no way we could talk about somebody else's past and we got one ourselves. Whew. I don't even want to go there, but it's true. You know it's true that you have a past. I have a past. Man, and some people are afraid, oh man, when I get to heaven, God is going to open the book up and read out all my dirty laundry. No, God is not going to do that. No, he's not going to do that. And he's going to put it, and I've heard some pastors say, oh, when you get there, man, he's going to put it on the big screen so everybody can see what you did. Man, that's a lie from the pit of hell. God is not going to do that. The Bible says Jesus, when he died on the cross, man, he took care of our sins, past, present, and future, to the point where God doesn't even remember our sins anymore. Think about that. God, who knows everything, doesn't even remember our sins. The Bible says he cast the sins as far as the east is to the west. Man, that's a long way. That's eternity. so that, man, we are able to get up every day and receive God's grace and receive God's mercy and walk forward into our divine destination. So the question I have for you today is, what's holding you back? What kind of rock or boulder have you had in front of you and God actually removed it, but you are too afraid to walk out because you're too afraid of what somebody's going to say. You're too afraid of what somebody's going to think. I'm going to tell you, man, your divine destination, your blessing is on the other side of that rock. Your blessing is on the other side of that issue that God has moved already by faith. By faith. So I don't care what it is. Maybe you guys are struggling with your weight and you're trying to lose weight and you're like, man, God, I'm just doing everything I can and I cannot lose this weight. Don't say that. You have to say that, man, I am healthy. I am thin. I am trimmed. I am healthy on the inside. I'm healthy on the outside. I have the mind of Christ and I'm going to get healthy. What about the opposite? There's some people that are so skinny. You know, they as my mom used to say, you stay skinny as a rail. They're trying to gain weight and they can't. You know, but God has a plan for that as well. You know, because anything that we care about, God cares about it as well. God cares about it as well, man. God, the Bible says God knows all the hairs on your head. They are all counted. They are all numbered. Man, how much more does he care about our everyday lives? If he cares about our hair, if he cares about the birds and he feeds the bird, how much more does he care about his children, his creation? Man, his spirit is living inside of us. It's dwelling inside of us. Man, we carry the presence of God everywhere we go. That's right. You and I, we carry the presence of God everywhere we go. And we have an opportunity to be light in darkness. That's why I'm so excited about what's going on today in the United States of America, even in the middle of a pandemic. God is allowing us to be able to be a light, to be able to be a place of salvation, to be a place of hope for the hurting. What an honor, what a privilege that you and I have as believers, that we can be a blessing to somebody else around the world. And it may not just be materialistic things. It can be just in love and just a wonderful gesture. Encouragement. Everybody needs encouragement. We need to be built up. We need to say, hey, man, you're beautiful. Hey, I'm so thankful for you. Brother, sister, they need that. We all need encouragement. We all need to be built up. And I'm praying that as you build other people up, God is going to have other people to build you up. All right. Love you guys. This is Dr. Rico Short, the root canal specialist to the stars. Share this message. If you got something from it, share it. Somebody else needs to hear the good message of grace found in the finished work of Jesus Christ. Grace life. Peace.